damn receivers at this point. Like, all right, well, if I don't get a first down here, I'm not gonna do no asshole shit, go for it, or try to throw a bomb on third down. And I threw a pass, DB acrobated, knocked it down. I was like, all right, well, that's it. Like, now when we got out the game, I was like, damn, we just did all that work for me not to go there and get 4,000-yard receivers. I literally got 3 and then 954. My fucking tight end and shit. Just like, I'm mad as hell looking at it because I did the work but ain't finished the job.
Alright. I'm sure they like fucking button. Yeah.
Never get high on your own supply. Mm. 9 a.m.
Give me one more chance. Oh! Junior Mafia. First thing first. Maximus! As they loading in right now, man, we at the first of the first off season. RDL6. The first dogs of RDL6 right now. We're gonna talk about a lot of shit, man. We gotta get to that playoff situation. We will be advancing week 18. Man, it's been hard work, long work. It's been a whole interesting, man. Listen, bro, this season, Mac, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go a little different here, man. We're gonna tell some storylines today. We're gonna talk. Skadimes will show up today. We might even get into like who got the top 10 picks right now and what type of situation should be going on with some of these teams. But the storylines, man, and it's only solely right to start. The storylines with the Super Bowl champ, man, the defending Super Bowl champ. You will be going into the tournament. You will be able to try to hold on to your Super Bowl. You will be able to try to repeat. You still have another shot at it right now. So let's talk about your season and coming off of a Super Bowl and the symbol of what you put together, your first real draft class. Who was impactful out of that first class and the direction your team went in and where you at right now leading up to the playoffs right now. Storylines, man. We got so many different storylines we could talk about. Desmond Ridder, quarterback that got drafted in the second round, was lights out for the Colts. Got them in the playoffs for the first time. De'Aaron King, man, a quarterback that really wasn't thought about. He wasn't talked about during the entire draft process. And the Dolphins went and busted a power move, and they sat a future Hall of Famer, was on his potential to a Hall of Fame career, right? And Dan Marino Jr. And just done away with him, sat him down, and went in a different direction, and they're back in the playoffs. A lot of things worked out. Yeah, some Malik Willis got the starting nod for the Bengals. It didn't work out as well for him. They finished 6-11. But he played really good football down the stretch. During the entire season, not just down the stretch. He played pretty solid football. I think the future is bright for Malik Willis as well, as far as the quarterback play go. We had running backs stand out. Kenneth Walker over there took over for Tremaine Bass, and the Raiders outfit over there, the Las Vegas Raiders. They went Kenny Walker the third heavy. We'll check him out, see what he did. But I guess the running back that really didn't surprise us, but surprised us was Zeus, man. And you're from out of your division, man. The Eagles and what they've done, winning big games this year, and having the best rookie running back in the league right now. Um, Wide receivers, David Bell. Anybody expected David Bell to be the number one rookie receiver in the league? And he's, pitting and twerk right now to the point where, he's in a conversation with some of the top dogs this year. The numbers he put up, well, he done all year long for them Broncos, man, on their quest to repeat, to get back to a Super Bowl for the third time. Actually, they've been to two straight. But the storylines, man, storylines are there right now, man. You got all types of teams there. We're gonna look at the playoff picture. We'll see who's in the playoffs. We'll look at this one now, and we'll see who's in as of week 18 before it's over with. We just want to see. So right now, before we advance, the Panthers have the 7th seed in the NFC. The Chargers have the 7th seed in the AFC. Your 6 seeds are the Saints and the Dolphins. Your 5th seeds are the Eagles and the Patriots. All the home teams that will be playing in the wild card round will be the Broncos, the Ravens, and the Colts all win their division. On the NFC side, you got the Giants, Cardinals, and the Lions all win their divisions. The storylines, Max, is what we want to talk about right now. So you come off your Super Bowl, you come off your MVP taking his ass to Disney World and all that, and then you got to get right back into football mode, man. Just talk about the path, your path this year after being a Super Bowl champion.
Well, for the Gremlins, they still came back hungry and young as ever. We make a power move and go trade for Pooh Jers, who you know adds a supreme firepower for Elijah, and we struggled, in the beginning of the year. Um, a lot of turnovers for Elijah. Wasn't really run heavy in the offense. The line was keeping him protected, but we just made some errors, in the passing game, trying to, venture out into a new offense. But put a lot of pressure on our defense. Look at our scores. We was letting up a lot of high-scoring games early and often.
Did you say new offense?
New offense as in tested some things. We still got Ryan Day as the offensive coordinator. After the Super Bowl, we kept the same coaching staff, but when we brought in, Pooh Jers and we drafted the rookie that we drafted, that I was going to get into, we saw that we could run kind of a different kind of offense within our air raid scheme. Um, First time player touching the field, Chance Davis brought a new element. The whole offense was hitting on all cylinders this year. Kind of put us in a different situation as far as having a lot of receivers to play. We completely had to sit down, not completely sat down, but cut Burrs almost completely out of the offense just due to the type of firepower that we had.
Let's stay there for a second. So we're looking at Plax Burr, right? He came in a year before Cannon came. And in that year, 10 touchdowns. I mean, this guy been double digits every year. 2026, he had 20 touchdowns. Last year, he had 18, right? You look at Plax Burress, he lost playing time, and he was very vocal about not wanting to be a part of the new direction you guys are headed in. And he asked you guys for a trade multiple times this year. Just talk about why he fell out. Like, what happened? Was it something inside we don't know about? What happened for him? He was the number 2 receiver here, and he was very productive as a receiver over here. I mean, you guys had a 6'6" and 6'5" on the outside, which was very dangerous. You sat him down for the most part, and your passing numbers, your passing offense kind of took another step with him not playing. Why did, out of all the receivers over there, did he fall to the side?
I think for 2 reasons. And I'll start with the rookie coming in, just being in a blessed situation, medium size, uh, medium attributes, but out of this world speed. Kind of brought that John Ross feeling back to the offense. Felt like Elijah needed something to double spark with getting Puhana, kind of like we have this on one end and this on the other end, and just out of natural selection through practice in the first couple of games, Plex just happened to be the one to find his way out. Smith kind of made his statement known in the slot. Um, if Pooh's not in the slot, it's gonna be me, kind of type of thing. And that's why you see his numbers are still close to the 1,000 yard mark and double-digit touchdowns. But when all of that came into the play, and Ryan Day sat down with Elijah, he just asked him what he wanted to do this year, and he said they wanted to get back to that explosive football where you know guys are going to touch the ball, but we want guys to find the end zone and get down the field fast, kind of back to our Metcalf, John Ross days. And it just brought that feel to have all of them come up. Cannon and Elijah went to go, you know, watch some of Pooh's and work and how he was, and they instantly thought that he would be a great fit for the offense and how he would fit over. So when he came over there, you see the numbers really didn't drop off, and they kind of balanced off of each other um, completely, actually.
Plex, for a guy that's looking to draft a receiver that got a receiver highly on their list right now, um, what mistake would they make not to come get a Plex Barris?
Um, I just think it would be a huge mistake as far as like underestimating what all he can do. I know people sometimes focus on like what one guy is doing, or what he runs, or whatever that case may be. But you look at the numbers as far as like his frame, his size, his secondary stats. I think it would be a misconception to like in the draft where there's some big receivers this draft, but if you're one of those guys that especially like that recognize that man is being played, or these zones are sketch, and you can use big receivers to your advantage. Not everybody can be playing with 5'11", 5'10" guys. They need that balance out for some of these 6'3", 6'4", 6'2" DBs, 6'5" safeties and shit like that. So I think it would just be a mistake as far as underestimating what he can do for you.
All right, so you go get Pujers in the trade. You bring him in, and immediately he becomes one of your favorite targets for your quarterback. Your quarterback was very vocal and playing a major role in getting him into your system. He's there, but you did talk about the rookies offensively. Um, when you attacked the draft this year, did you have any idea when you drafted Velus Jones that you would get 1,000 yards out of him, 17 touchdowns?
No. He actually was drafted to be a stash and play player. Even pending the combine, it was questionable as if he would be just special teams, um, maybe just certain formations, and then it kind of became evident and early often that this guy, when he touches the field, um, his speed is obvious on the field, like obvious, explosive, real speed. And I think once Elijah kind of saw that, it just gave him the passer trigger. All passers love a great deep threat, especially when you got two guys that are pronouncedly known in the league that people have to focus on, and they can sneak that third guy in there and get big plays out of him. I think it just gave him all the confidence he needed. It made Elijah get that kind of like, I'm 26, but shit, I got this receiver right here that's 20 years old. We got a future together. He's planning this to see Villas out to his contract all the way through and through.
All right, so the passing game, you guys spread the ball out a lot more this year amongst the park. One of the things you talked about with your quarterback was you didn't like the interceptions, you didn't like the turnovers that he had this year. Um, Would you? I mean, 70% on the year, 360 yards a game. Still, very, very high level of throwing. 6,000 yards, 75 touchdowns. I mean, it's amazing stats. First of all, the 36 interceptions really is around the league average of, guys, that throw multiple touchdowns like your guy did. You're always somewhere between 20 and 30. There's only a few guys in the league that that stay in the teens or under that. Most of the quarterbacks in this league throw somewhere between 30 and 35 interceptions. You were screaming all year long that he was donating a little too much for your likings. How do you get him calmed down, especially when you went and got weapons and you always built this team around him? And you went and got more receivers to add to his arsenal, and you opened the playbook up a little bit more in the passing game. How do you calm him down and get him ready for playoff mode to be able to go back and repeat?
Just the last couple of weeks, just been, giving the bell cow back his services, giving to the ball, and then, the second rookie, the Dark Knight kind of our offense right now that came up out of nowhere, Spiller. From Texas A&M, the rookie, he was supposed to be a complete no play, like not even a speed type of thing, like a Velus Jones, where you could have played him. He complete no play, couple red zone carries and some big games, touchdowns. Ended up showing he had some dog in him that and him the past couple of 2 weeks has been getting more touches, as we get closer to the playoffs. And I let Atuta still get the carries, but not let him take so many hits, stuff like that. Started to see that Spiller is a little bit more NFL ready than we would have thought, down the road, finishing with 12 touchdowns. A lot of those, like giving the ball in the red zone, letting them go in there, bang it out with guys, pause, and getting inside the end zone as a rookie. He's seen that, he's seen the end zone a lot with no fumbles. Only 70 carries, but he hasn't shown, he wants to cough the football up. He's trying to get extra yards all the time. And I think getting back to that type of smash mouth offense that we used to have when Elijah was early in his career will kind of keep him at calm nature, hitting these new
I mean,
targets
that's the
in the plays.
kind of question I was going to go to. Saquon Barkley got traded a few years ago. This team didn't have a real running identity. They brought in Saint Barkley and tried to go through that, and some veterans that they brought in for 1 year deals. But at this point into the house, 202 carries, 1453, 15 touchdowns, and Spiller, and just in mop up duty, I would say red shirt duty, a couple of games here and there. But he played to 12 rushing touchdowns. Do you feel like the run game is back now in New York?
I definitely feel like it's back. Between our three backs, we got around 2,100 yards or something like that. So I feel like the run game is definitely back. I just think it's a little bit less volume, so guys don't, feel like it's back. But you look at Saquon's carries, he had close to about 300 most of the time, 282, cracking 2,000 yards. I feel like if I give my back 100 more carries, he definitely cracks about 2,000 yards. So we're definitely back, it's just not at the high volume because, we have obviously more receivers than running backs type of thing.
All right. You guys coming off the Super Bowl. How do you keep your team focused to be able to get to another Super Bowl and win another one?
Um, just played, honestly our best football, which is, mistake free, our football. We got a new stadium, and I think that's going to play big to us playing our football this year.
The new stadium, is that an advantage or a disadvantage? I mean,
I
teams
feel
aren't
like for
coming into
us,
New York and playing in the weather elements anymore either.
no, they're not. Um, which for us is like, okay, people expect to run
Breaking up,
more.
cuz.
You hear me now?
Nope, breaking up, cuz.
Jack,
Breaking up, cuz.
is my controller about to die?
Probably
No,
about to
I got
die,
two
cuz.
bars. Nah, I
You
got two
sound good now,
bars.
cuz.
All
Sound
right,
good now, cuz. You back, cuz.
okay,
You back, cuz.
all right. Well, in the snow games, people would expect us to run more, so you know, and our speed would be cut, so it would be like, we would be explosive, but not as explosive. I feel like now at this point, um, you have to be able to match up with our explosiveness because we're explosive, through and through the offense, and we're not slow on defense either at all in a sense. So I think kind of guys now can't get away with over inflation of carries or things like that. It'll have to be a man on man game, like mano a mano type of game. My man is better than your man, straight up. And I think for our guys to coming off of a Super Bowl win, that's when our confidence will be the highest. Our mano a mano mentality is going to be kind of higher right now than a lot of people's. Not because we just won one, but we know it doesn't stop or end with just one. So I feel like people are underestimating that mentality about our players, the way we've been playing this season, the coaching staff, the
Give
owner.
us
I
a
think guys
game
are
where you feel like everything clicked in that game offensively this year.
offensively. Um, shit. I go last game against the Eagles. Um, Before that, I go the Lions game. Even with 3 picks that I threw, the offense was still equate moving. Still had a 112 QBR rating, even with 3 picks. Um, I
All
would
right,
say
so
those 2 games.
let's talk about the other hot team in your division, man. You guys were neck to neck for the most part all year. He won some big games, lost a game as well in the big game wins that he had. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles for a second. Um, it starts with when you talk about Philadelphia, it starts with the quarterback, the golden child. Um, you got to follow this team all year long. When you're looking at what they've done over there for Philly, where you know how do I? All right, here's the question. We had interviews with this coach a lot, and we heard a lot of conversation out of him where it sounded like he had a lot of work to do with this team. Where some guys might have looked at his team like they were, a good team, one of the top teams in your division. He didn't see it that way. He felt like he had to put a lot of work together to get his team to where it's at right now. Do you feel as though the Eagles were that type of team as well, where they were behind the ball a little bit since the first year when they made the trades for all those players. Once those guys, kind of went through their 4 seasons over there. Do you feel like they were in that little zone? And if they were, is Darren Thomas the reason why they're out of it?
I definitely think around season 4 or 5, you would say that they were kind of moving towards the third or the fourth developed, like best on the roster paper. I mean, paper roster team in the East. Um, I would say DT mixed in with the draft before DT. I know they drafted the quarterback that they didn't use, but the other pieces that they drafted that draft started, and it was and enabled DT to be a good pick the next year, if that makes sense.
All
Like
right, so
the
this
pieces.
team all the way up until I don't think your game against him uh mattered for the division. I think he was already at 4 losses to your 3, or was it? What was it? When y'all played that last game, what was the records?
I was 13-3, and he was shit. What was he? I was 13-3, and he was 11-4.
11-4. All right, so it did matter then. All right, so that game mattered. All right, so let's talk. Let's talk about the Eagles. Um, Clearly they're the second best team in y'all division right now. Behind you. Um, they go get the quarterback the year before. They come back in last year's draft in the first RDL draft. They bring in Zamir White Zeus. Facing this guy twice a year, what did the Eagles get in this running back right here?
Do it all back. Fucking a workhorse, strong. Reminds me of like Najee in college, but NFL. Like very difficult to tackle one on one. Makes the O line, and you can see the immediate reaction from the offensive line to me when Zeus is getting, you know, 15 plus carries, 12 plus carries. Uh, Sometimes even before that, I think the line is just, they enjoy blocking for him. He has that type of effect to me.
All right, so the Eagles have put themselves back in the playoff spot again. They will be moving on to the playoffs when we advance. Um, you still got the Cowboys, you still got the football team in your division. Um, when you look at your division and you look at uh, the whole picture of your division right now, what team scares you the most or gives you the most to worry about knocking you off the top of the mountain right now?
At this point, I would honestly,
Because you
it's
go to
tough.
war with the Cowboys a lot. Yeah.
I was just about to say that's tough because like honest answer is that I think the Cowboys just had a bad year. I think next year the Cowboys could be in the same situation the Eagles were in this year, one game away from, fighting and having that chance to like take over the division. But I also, in that same breath, don't think the Eagles are going to come down from this 12-5 and go and be anything less than 12-5 next year because I think they've kind of they found the standard and are putting together that standard that the coaches talk about, and I think they're there with it. My thing with those two teams, it only takes one game
Right.
mentally. Like with me, it always takes only one game. So like once they kind of like once if that happens in the first game or like you know what I'm saying, like it can always just happen. So I want to put them neck and neck, but I know you don't want to really hear that. So I give an advantage of. I think next year I'll view Philly
Still
to
Philly.
I think Philly will come back and
Yeah.
it'll be a little bit vengeance. It'll be some vengeance. I think they'll have shit not more together than Dallas, but I think Dallas is still gonna
Got
play
you.
true to their nature. If Dallas drafts some true talent that they like and they get their guys and they're gonna still bust their moves and I think the Dallas coach is still gonna do, the things that he does. And I think the Eagles coach is gonna be more in a running back type of mentality, with this 12-5 success that he has.
I want to talk about league history and I want to talk about those teams that have won Super Bowls in our league. Let's go start with the Bears. At this point, the Bears are trying to crawl their way into a playoff run right now. What's the disconnect from their first Super Bowl to now? I mean, they've had a run where they've been, playoff teams winning in the first round of the playoffs. They kind of been knocked out by the same teams. But why are they so close but so far away from, you know, playing in one of these games again?
Um, I just think as of late they haven't had the turnover at the right positions to be completely dominant of the league. Through their division, yes, but I think they've had the right players or the right, right development out of these guys for some of these positions that are positions to like win ball games. We're just now looking at a real receiving core. Um, they lost the backfield, they got a back. Line is still good, but like, without a real receiving core, you getting out of big games with your tight end being your main leader, and there's not a lot of games you can win outside of the division big one where like you got to have some receivers out there doing some damage or a crazy ass run game, and he's kind of like in the threat like he hasn't really found either one. I think that could change in about 2 or 3 seasons. Um,
Does that change happen without Justin Fields as the starting quarterback for this team, though?
I don't know how old Justin is now, but I think Justin still has 2 years in him. The way I played him this year, I think Justin still has 2 years in him. So the 2 or 3 is still can be within the Justin Fields era. I do think we will see a drafted understudy within the 2 or 3 years, though.
All right, you go to 2022, and the Cardinals win 51-17 convincingly in the Super Bowl. They play at their home stadium. Um, this team has won 22, 23, 24. No, they lost 24. They come back and win it in 25. They follow that up. Hold on. Wait a minute. They won 5 of them shits? Let me go. 1,
He won 4, I
2.
think.
He lost this one. No, 3, 4. All right. All right. So the
Yeah.
Cardinals, guys like Rondell Moore and Isabella, the centerpieces of their football team that took them uh, and put them in a situation where, they've been dominant. Tyson Williams and those type of players are all veterans of this league right now, and they kind of are at the stage where, you had Isaiah Simmons at 30 years old trying to retire this year. Um, this team is literally 1 year removed from a Super Bowl, but the makeup of their team isn't the same as their 4 seasons of winning Super Bowls, of their 4 Super Bowls, right? They don't have the same makeup of the team. The team is flipping over right now. Where do you see the Cardinals at uh, going into the playoffs this year and going into the future?
Um. Well, I'll say the Cardinals coach is a Super Bowl caliber coach. So if he can get success out of his players, it's just one of those. It's take it a game per time mentality. He could have one game where those guys show up for him, and he could have another game where those young guys and the understudy and the turnover could come back and bite him in the ass. I think he'll play the same way as a coach, mentality and game plan wise, and play calling. So that's a fate where Madden kind of can kind of kill your. You could be a Hall of Fame and Super Bowl coach and coaching the Super Bowl game, but your guys aren't playing the Super Bowl caliber. So
What would be a
and
team's mistake in the NFC to look at the Cardinals and say, this team is turning their roster over, they're not ready, this is the year I can get them? What would be their
that'd be
first mistake?
first mistake would be that out loud to yourself, putting that into a thought there, because you're then betting and taking an equation out of the coaching, the game plan, the play call, like the end game shit that you until you're in the game. You got to go in there thinking, playing the Cardinals.
Why aren't we
The
talking about the
Cardinals.
Patriots, a team that's a couple of seasons removed from winning their first Super Bowl? Why aren't we talking about the Patriots?
That's because that Super Bowl, we've had a missed the playoffs a year, first round exit another year. I think divisional exit, and then maybe 2 not make the playoffs. Maybe I might be like tripping, but just in the inconsistency of not knowing done since the Super Bowl, I think that's just the stigma of how competitive the league is. People kind of shoot your Super Bowl win once you start seeing, a second, a third Super Bowl after that. People are kind of like, okay, like you see, we barely talked about the Chargers at some point after Corey started doing that. He's not even like he's not a Super Bowl winner. So if you're a Super Bowl winner, you're at the top of the totem pole, and you go down to not making playoffs. People be like, where the hell, like what's going on with the Patriots? And I think that right there is kind of like why people aren't really taking notice to it.
All right. What do you do as a New York Giant team that won a Super Bowl to keep yourself from falling in the same category as the Patriots?
Um, Starts by getting another Super Bowl first and foremost. Second, keep consistent with the things we were doing to prior to and our Super Bowl year. Winning the division, making the playoffs, um, competing in the championship. You know, uh, just being that consistent and hunger. I think that'll just separate you know us from the Patriots when they win their Super Bowl. But it starts with getting another bowl, I guess, and like first and foremost.
Let's talk about the quarterback carousel that we saw this year happen. Guys that had franchise quarterbacks on their rosters starting for them and won games and put them in good situations and still yet moved on from those guys, right? Um, we'll go all the way down. Let's just go. Let's go. We'll start with let's start with the Indianapolis Colts. They trade their quarterback to the Jets. He's now on the Jets roster as their starting quarterback, and Devion Branch. They pick up Desmond Ritter, and they're in the playoffs. Would you say Desmond Ritter is the sole reason why this team is in the playoffs?
I think Desmond Ritter is what Desmond Ritter brought to the offense is the sole reason why. I won't say him because of the targets that he's throwing to are developed and well targets. That offensive line and that defense is, sound all the way through and through. I think he came into a real life like Colts situation, like good offense, really, really good defense, really good line, be a good quarterback, make smart decisions, and he did a little bit beyond that. He made explosive, which I feel like is that brought that new element into the offense with Bowman and Samuel. I think I'm forgetting somebody else. Excuse me, Coach Mike. But Bowman and Samuel, I know are the top guys over there, and I think they've just their numbers will show that the offense over there is just hitting on a different cylinder, and that part is what goes to Ritter, um,
All right.
completely. I would
Same
say.
question. Dolphins sat Dan Marino for Derek King and went through the growing pains early with Derek King. But right now, 61%, 264.3 yards a game, 40 touchdowns, 43 interceptions. He's the new starter, and he has his team sitting right back in the playoffs. Um, what do you think about this move? Was it a smart move? Was it uh, what did they, not? Let's not ask that question. I want to know what's the difference between them starting Derek King and being in the playoffs like they've been every year with Marino versus Marino still playing right now. Do you think their chances of being a better football team plays within Derek King?
The chances definitely go better with De'Aaron King. I just don't know if he'll get to see it right away. Like being that this season, and I'm not trying to like demean, like how I just talked about Ritter, because I think very highly of De'Aaron King and that offense. I just think being that that offense can sometimes be complexity without sitting complexity when you throw them in the fire kind of can just make the fire feel like it's lasting a little bit longer versus if he would have maybe taken a different route, sat him and then played him. I think the complexity wouldn't have been so it wouldn't have been so it would have been a easy like saw De'Aaron kind of like not go through that struggle honestly, but I think that struggle will eventually end the round because the offense hasn't really changed to a point for De'Aaron. We've seen some different shit as far as like what Derek brings, but like the
Yeah, because
scheme
the
of the
difference is
offense is
the
still.
running part of Derek King. I
Yeah,
mean
that's what yeah,
that's
that
something
that
that
that is.
Marino
Yeah,
was a statue in the pocket. Derek King moves the pocket and takes off for 13 rushing touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards rushing, 846. Um, I know this decision was made once they drafted Derek King. Same thing with Desmond Ritter. The decision was made for these teams. While we're looking at that, before we get into other quarterback carousels that we saw move around and do things, what teams do you see doing that this year?
um, what like this year, this draft coming up?
Yeah, the Derek Kings and Desmond
Uh,
Ritters and
I,
rookies
I'm gonna
that's
be
going to
honest.
come in and take over from guys that already been established and pretty good for their teams.
The first one, and I know guys that might be like, huh, but I think the Cardinals. Uh, this could be Kyler Murray's farewell. Like, quiet as kept. I know that they drafted Akil Glass. I don't know if Akil Glass has that for sure job. I don't see the Cardinals coach not maybe bringing in some competition early and not competition between Kyler and the young buck. No competition between two young bucks. Um, the Ravens have already put AI's son in his place, so that would cancel my automatic. Okay, maybe the Ravens. Um, I'm thinking possibly the Cowboys.
Great, that's a great team. I like the Cardinals and the Cowboys. Both those teams, in my opinion, could surprise us. I don't think it's a surprise with the Cowboys. I don't think they
But yeah, I was about to say
settled
that's
in
less of a
on
surprise to
Sidney
me.
Cake at all. I
Actually,
think
exactly.
they're looking for an excuse to get rid of Sidney Cake, and he's been giving them that excuse. Um, he had a hot season, the first year they picked him up, in the trade, he had a hot season, but since then he's cooled all the way down. I think the Cowboys will be looking to go in a different direction as well. I do think with the Cardinals, I do think if the way they move and the way they do things GM wise, if they grab a quarterback that's next up, I think like you said, Glass is not to me. I don't think he's the guy that they're going to move forward with. Could they move forward with Glass if they wanted to? I think they could, but I don't think they would. I think
I think they
pay
could.
attention. That's what I would say. Pay attention because
Yeah,
there's a
I was just
possibility
about to
that you see
say,
something go there.
yeah, I would, I would just watch because like that's something like you know what I'm saying. That's certain coaches kind of could just make that competition really a competition. I think that's why I said it because he could really maybe see a certain offense playing with Glass. But I think if he sees another type of quarterback, he might be able to really captivate and see a different type of offense. And him being able to see that prior to it actually coming to fruition is why I think he could draft one because he'll enjoy the competition as long as it gets done in a reasonable and timely manner for the season. I don't see why the Cardinals coach wouldn't enjoy that competition. Um, shit. Who else? I had somebody right there ready for you too. Besides them, uh, oh, I think the Niners. I think I was looking through the Niners. Um, I I think I was looking through the Niners. They still got Lance. Offense needs that turnover. They got some weapons. Still young.
I can see the Niners. I can see the Niners doing it.
I, I just don't know if Lance is really the guy anymore. Sometimes guys need that focus, and focus sometimes comes in a different quarterback, a different play caller. Um,
Could you see the
just a
Packers?
possibility.
Could you see the Packers doing it? I mean, they did draft
He was on
Justin
my
Crum. Could you
he was
see
on
them
my
going to go?
list.
Maybe upgrading at the quarterback position
He was
themselves.
he was on my list. He was on my list as far as like know why, but I could just see it. I could see it just because if he
Here's a
sees the guy
great
a different
question
type
for
of
you, right here. Jalen Hurts, Kenny Pickett was the rookie
yeah,
this year. Do we
yeah.
see the new Texans coach going in? I mean, they have the number 2 pick in this draft. Do they go quarterback and
That
bring their
absolutely
guy
because
in, or
they
do they
always say
rock
bring that.
out
Yeah,
with somebody on their roster already? I mean, I love the Kenny Pickett sitting here too. They got a guy that they can really. He's a top tier type of quarterback that they can do some things with. Um, but do
I
you
would put
see
this in the
something
same
happening here?
category. I would put this in the same category as the Cardinals, where you just got to sit and watch. I don't know how much activity the Texans coaches already had with as far as maybe practicing, what games he did play, if he did play, what I'm saying, anything like that of the sort. If he even watched the highlight of Kenny Pickett and knows what type of quarterback he has at all, but I know this with the 2 pick, and knowing that this is the RDL draft, and knowing that he's a guy that was a good player in RDL, I'm sure he's kind of done some homework if not, might not even already have his second pick already wrapped up. Could be the next quarterback um, up and ready to start. Like I'm saying, his offense, bringing his guys, and he was on my list just because of him being a new user in the top 10. Um, Chargers ended up getting a guy. I think Freddie Miner is playing exceptionally well for the Patriots right now, so they're good. They're locked in. The Bills have their quarterback. I think Fields will still be cool for the Bears, but like I said, 2 to 3 years on that one. Minnesota drafted theirs. My next one was I want to say maybe this, not the Saints. Fuck, where was it? Oh, the football team. The football
Football
team.
team. I like the
The
football
football
team, but
team.
I do think that if you really look at the numbers of Doolittle this year, 35
He's up.
touchdowns, 18. Like his up, like his turnover
He's been
ratio is better.
for a period of time now. What I'm saying, wouldn't be surprised if they draft. And I fit exactly the category of one and instantly because that's just not always that
They do
organization
have
work.
the roster to be able to draft a quarterback right now, and do some
I just
things.
think that it
But I
could
think Doolittle's still
just
ready. He's still I think he's still
the guy.
I think he's still the guy over here. Yeah. They've been playing down the stretch with GDK just to see if that guy was already on their roster already, and I don't think they, 45% completion percentage. I do not think they're gonna go for it with him at all. But I do think Doolittle will be the guy here. I don't know if they go get a quarterback. Maybe if one land in their lap, and one of those luxury picks he'll have, then I could see some things happening over there. But other than that, I think they are comfortable where they are right now. That's in the top five that to me I think that will fuck around end up getting a quarterback. But you never know with Coach DC 404. But what about the Falcons?
Mm, the Falcons definitely could surprise and draft one. Not too happy with the end status of their trade for Cakester and oh, not Cakester, Beeman. Yeah, Beeman, Steeman, Beeman. They might not be too happy with the end results, and they could be taking the same route as the Cowboys, looking to start the ship with a new captain. I definitely wouldn't put them past it just because of we're never sure of what
What
the
they're gonna
Falcons
do
coach,
at all, right?
yeah, what they are going to do. So, expect the unexpected with that one.
Mm-hmm. All right, I agree. All right, let's talk about the teams that are in the playoffs right now and the teams that are going to be fighting to come out of the playoffs right now. I will be advancing the league. Everything's set up already. Um, we dudes QB is ass. Laughing out loud. All right. Um, the Panthers and the Eagles played. Panthers got the seventh spot right now. The Saints are sitting at 6. But we got a lot of teams. I don't think too much is going to change in the AFC. I think if we're going to see any changes when we advance, it's going to be here in the NFC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure we can see the. It sucks down the stretch, man. Guys that be tanking and shit like that could really
Yep, I
affect the
was just about to
playoffs.
say.
Um,
Yep.
and it really affects it. It affects the things like sometimes it affects it. Like some people you just can't you can't be mad at a Shogun for being as active as he is, just being in a situation where he's moving to a whole nother state. But you got some of these games where like right here will be important. But he gets the win because Shoguns can't play it. Cowboys get the win. This is going to come down because Cowboys are going to win. They're all about to finish with the same record right now. All right, so injuries are off already. I will turn them back on the moment I advance. And we're going to go forward, and we're going to come. I'm going to put the injuries back on, and then we're going to look at the playoff picture and year one of real draft.
Sheesh.
Don't
Wow.
say nothing.
I'm not. Wow. What the fuck? Oh my goodness, fucking gracious, bro. Oh wow, wow, wow,
Wow.
wow. Like,
Is he
bro,
not
get
the
the
luckiest man player in the world this
get
year?
the
Oh my
fuck out
God.
of
We
here,
gotta give him
bro.
props though, bro. Down the
Get the
stretch he did
fuck
what he had
out.
to do, bro. Simple as that.
I'm not mad at all. And we had this conversation earlier.
So are we
Hill,
looking at 3 out of 4 AFC, NFC East, and where Falk said you guys are
he
not
be
the best
trying.
division in football,
Hey
trying your
man,
necks
hey
right now. You got
man,
3 in again.
hey man.
We
What the
got
fuck
3
can I
in
say?
again from the
What can
NFC
I say? My man
East.
Snake started off 0-4, 1-5, then went on 5-5, and then finished 9-8. I mean,
Mm-mm-mm.
49ers ain't even the fucking playoffs.
Mm-mm-mm. Shout out to the Saints for staying at 6 this year. That's what's up. Let's get to the
Yes,
let's get to
sir.
the
Yeah,
guys that won.
shout out to the Saints, man. Shout out to the Saints. Cause what the fuck? What the fuck?
All right, so let's see who did what right now. Obviously, we're going to the stats. We want to know who won. It's no more top fives and all that shit. Now we talking about the quarterbacks that won shit that's going to come out of here with the passing leader record, and that's Chris Evans, 6,322 yards passing, with Collar being in 2, Manning fell in 3, Bradshaw and Herbert 4 and 5. Now, with that being said, let's see who threw the most touchdowns this year. I'm sorry. All right, so Elijah Manning has threw the most touchdowns in the league this year, 4 more than Kyler Murray threw. And now we want to know who's the donators of the league right now. Donations. 63 for Charlie Ward, Sam Russell 61. Now, average per game right now. So Chris Evans 371.9, Murray and then Elijah Manning with Bradshaw 4 and Herbert 5 as again. Let's look at the rushing attack right now. Who carried the ball more than anybody else? Cummings is back, but he's not the top carrier right now. Harold Streets does it again, 365. Yards wise right now, our rushing leader this year is Joey Cummings, is back on top of the world right now with 2,227 rushing yards, 22 touchdowns. We do have a few 2,000 yard backs. Let's talk about them. Jaleel Ruggs reached that 2,000 yard mark again. Hal Streets has done it, and Javonte Williams has done it. 2,000 yard back. So we usually always have somewhere between 4 and 5 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. The touchdown leader, surprise, surprise, goes to Jaleel Ruggs with 40 rushing touchdowns. NFC
Got
North, really?
40.
How y'all let the worst division get 3 teams in? The rest of the NFC really ass. Oh my god. Well, Jaleel Ruggs, 40 touchdowns. How do you feel about that, Max?
I mean, this nigga was injured for 5 games and still manages to get fucking 40 touchdowns. I don't fucking get it. How many touchdowns does he get in his divisional games? I'm questioning. Y'all gotta stop this shit. This shit don't look
How do
right.
you feel about Jaleel Ruggs missing 5 games this year, Falk? Still ended up with 303
This
carries and
shit
2,000 yards and 40 touchdowns.
I blame the league. Like I blame the league at this point.
Shout out to Jaleel Ruggs, man. All right, who had the most yards per game this year? Jaleel Ruggs, 400 carries. They should 150. He had 151 yards per game this year. Let's go to the receivers and look at the reception leader. I don't think we got to go any further than David Bell. The diaper dandy comes in and catches 108 passes as a rookie, bro. The Denver Broncos has found their number 1 receiver.
Clear as day.
Clear as day. Boseman was another 103-yard guy. I left. We didn't get to really hear or see too much about him because, Guns didn't play, but for the rookie to be in the slot doing this is amazing. Waddle had 96 catches, and then the tight end, the first tight end up there with 89 catches and 2,000 yards. I'm going to talk about that too, and we got a tight end that, out here on some receiver shit. So we got multiple receivers with 2,000 yards. Boseman averaged 25.6. Poole has 2,245, 32.5. Fuck Bot. Where they lost a couple of receivers over there, where we thought Ward could be the guy over there. Fuck Back's the guy right now. 81 catches, 2,074 yards, 30 touchdowns right now. What does that say to Ward, man? Do you think Ward's ready to get out of Arizona right now?
No, I think Warwick Warwick knows that Kyler needed something, a new weapon to throw to. It's just the way that the offense gets sometimes. It just gets a little not trigger happy, but when it's guys' time, when it's your time in that offense, it's your time. Ward got the same love in the midst of Rondell and Isabella, and I think it's kind of happening to him. So I think he's still humble about it. He still knows that when his number is called, it will be called, and if it's called numerous times, he'll just be asked to show up.
Me
So
personally, I think it's time to get rid of him. I think he's getting to that point where this is the year to do it this off season, off his ass, and move forward from him. Simple as that. Yeah, number 1 is sitting right here. Fuck Bot with that bullshit name. Zach Bowman, 2,000-yard receiver. Mike has a 2,000-yard receiver, and he's averaged more yards per catch than any receiver in the league. 39.7, 24 touchdowns. 52 catches for 2,065. Mike had a 2,000-yard receiver. Like, I don't think you could put that. You never would think y'all would say that in the same sentence. Mike has a 2,000-yard receiver. Simple as that. Like, and he's averaged the most yards per catch, 39.7. Then or 40 yards a catch. Waddle's still in the mix, man. He getting up there doing what he do, work, and all-time great. Check the numbers. 2,063, 21 and a half. Hundred. Yeah.
When you get a chance, can you show your mom that video where the dog took off after they vacuumed up the hair?
Yeah, as soon as I get off the show, I'll do it.
Oh, alright, I'm sorry, I never went.
It's all good. All right, 27 touchdowns now. Max, this tight end has been the best tight end in the league for numerous years. You know, the only other person that gave him, pushed him at one, what we talked about more than him at one point was the kid Moss over there for the Chargers. But since, that conversation, John Jenkins is the guy over there. How, why, and what the fuck are we looking at with a fucking tight end got 89 catches and 2,002 yards, bro, 27 touchdowns?
Just a pure matchup nightmare, and back to like Tony Gonzalez type days. I'm surprised I don't. Excuse me. I'm surprised I don't see the tight end that wide out sometimes and shit like that. Like he's just a complete matchup nightmare and an athlete completely. Probably, yeah, I would go with not even probably the favorite Bradshaw's favorite weapon. So it's a mixture of those things mixed in with just the play calling for the tight end, not scared to put plays together for him and throw it to him. So I think a mixture of those things right there just has him at the same rate as a receiver, because that's the logic you use for a receiver. You call plays for him, you line them up in certain positions, and you got your favorite. Most people's offense's favorite weapon is a receiver.
It doesn't
This
matter what.
offense just happens to be
This is
tight
what
end.
I would say. A weapon is a weapon, no matter what position they
Yeah,
play in. If you can get that guy the football and he can help you win ball games by you getting him the football, he's your number one weapon. Who's more important, 99 Reasons or Jaleel Ruggs to the Bucks offense?
that's tough. That's tough. I'm probably gonna go 99 Reasons though.
All
I
right,
think Ruggs'
say
speed
that
is
without
exceptional.
explaining it.
I was about to say because I think Ruggs' speed is exceptional, but I don't know if Ruggs is better than Ronald Jones. But I do know that he's not gonna draft a tight end probably way close to
He
anywhere
got one
near as good
already.
as. I mean, the Ohio State tight end is cool, but until it's proven, he's not better than 99 Reasons by a long shot. Until proven, I have to see that before I just say that 99 Reasons is no. I don't know if Jaleel Ruggs is better than Ronald Jones though. So with that even being that saying, there's nobody he has right now to me better than 99 Reasons. So 99 Reasons to me is more important. I think Ruggs' speed is just
Is
great to
Reasons
have.
is Reasons a 2,000-yard tight end without the run game?
I don't know about 2000.
Well, then that should answer your question right there. Ruggs is the more important.
I mean, that's kind of underrated what 99 Reasons does, maybe even as a blocker, or what effect he has.
Oh
Because
yeah, nah, you right. I ain't gonna argue with that because as a blocker, you're 100% right. When they run the ball, he's on the field still. You
yeah,
are 100%
so
right.
I mean, it's just
It is a
I don't
tough
think he would be
question, right?
2000. I don't think he'd be 2000. Maybe I still feel like he could be 1800 though, north of 1500.
Shit, that's damn near 2,000. What the fuck? That's
I mean,
2,000.
it's not 2000 though. When you say that, I'm thinking a nigga hit 2000 yards. It could be close. I think that's just the difference between if the run game wasn't hitting that hard.
Is it more?
That's,
Is it more this tight end is special, or is it a matchup thing? In your opinion?
I mean, isn't that the same though?
Nope, it's not the same.
Him being special is the matchup.
Nah, hell no. Matchup. Most
I
people you
mean,
play gonna have linebackers trying to cover this guy. If you spread him out and all that other stuff, move him around like he should do, will he still be that special?
I don't know. I would have to see. I would have to see that going to the route
You
running
can't
part.
separate the two.
I was because I've never seen it. I mean, I can separate it when you're talking about. I've never seen him out there, so I don't know how drastic his game would change if he was a real life Kyle Pitts. Because that would be the real testament of like how much of a
But the
matchup
way he
problem
played, the
are
way
you.
he shitting is like Kyle Pitts should be the type of
He
tight end having
yeah.
these numbers, right?
That's what my thought is. No,
First
I didn't
ballot Hall
check
of
them.
Famer, John Jenkins, 99 Reasons. Yes or no?
Hold on, man.
All right, let's look at the touchdown guys. Who won the touchdown battle? All right, so Chadwick Boseman, 38 touchdowns. He wins that award. Let's go look at defensive stats right now. Let's see who had the most tackles. I'm not counting guys that didn't play their games. If it's a computer situation, we won't talk about it. Pant file 125. Fucking pedophile. Fat girl pedophile. Wesley Snipes, off and on. I like Tyler White. Not a game miss. 115 tackles on the year. So did C.G. Westbrook. 113. Isaiah Simmons still doing it. 111 of them. Computer. Half on, half off. Computer. Played his games. 107. Played his games. Computer. Quay Walker. 103 tackles. Had a lot of guys with 100. Computer for the most part. Computer. Played his games. Wagner. Both played and computer for the most part. And Lindell Tillman rounds off your 100 tackle guys. All right, who won the tackle for loss race right here? Let's see. Michael Parsons did it with 22. Your sack leader, I'm going to have to check this twice. 21 out of Eric Bolden. Let's go look in the AFC and make sure we ain't missing nothing. NFC. All right. Let's go back to the NFL and let's look at who's there. All right, so Eric Bolden, 21 sacks. Cumberland, 19. His sack leader is Eric Bolden, but I think he played, and it's kind of hard. I want to give it to Jeremy Cumberland over him right now. INTs right now. We're going to separate this from safeties and Jesus Christ, Raheem Wagner with 16 of them things. I mean, we've seen bigger numbers, but damn, 16 from the young cannon. That's what's up. Them Lions balling right now. 80 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, a sack, and 16 picks. AI at a cornerback with 14 on the year. Bubba Bolden, 13, along with Sauce Gardner, 13 of them things. I mean, the fact that Sauce Gardner, man, diaper dandy with 13 picks, came to that team and became the #1 corner right away. Solo Savage was a monster all year long. We got some guys that played really well all year. Just a sneak up right here. 11 from Roy. A little bit of sub package, it looked like, maybe. But that's a sneak up. That's a problem, too. Pay attention. Reeves Island is starting to be that. Is he the guy over there, Falky? Reeves Island, I think he is. You know, between him and Prime, they trying to figure out which one of those corners is the guy, you know what I mean? Ronnie Harrison played well all year, and the diaper dandy Isaiah Palomolo played well, too. The $200 million man had 11 picks, but he did that in one game for the most part, in the Burger Gate game. All right, now that's, stats and those guys that, was #1 in the league in those stats. Let's get to the awards. Yearly awards, man. Obviously, Coach of the Year goes to Cliff Kingsbury and those Denver Broncos. Takes it from Joe Judge. Jaleel Ruggs wins his second MVP. This is special because, again, this guy missed 5 games this year and still came back and won the MVP of the league for the second time. So Jaleel Ruggs is back there. They said Ronald Jones did it 3 times. Will we see him try to beat that with Jaleel Ruggs? Shout out to the Bucks and Coach Craig with Jaleel Ruggs winning his second MVP of his career, his young career too. All right, so your offensive player of the year in the AFC goes to Javonte Williams. He wins that award. And the NFC, we're dealing with Jaleel Ruggs. He brings home another trophy. Defensive player of the year goes to Brahim Wagner in the NFC. Shout out to the young safety, man. Doing it big. AFC, your defensive player of the year goes to Bubba Bolden, the diaper dandy, wins that. Defensive player of the year in the AFC. Finally got him a sub packet safety, and look what he did with him. Offensive rookie of the year goes to David Bell in the AFC, and the NFC offensive rookie of the year goes to Zeus Zamir White.
I showed her before, but I forgot I had it on my phone.
Was she cracking up?
I don't think
She ain't processed it this shit. Yeah. Thank you.
I was trying to break it down to her, but it wasn't.
It ain't register.
2 and 2 together.
Yeah, she probably got it. You gotta probably let her know that was a dog hair that looked like a dog.
But she was more like, well, where'd the hair come from? Whose hair is
So
that?
she missed it. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Defensive rookie of the year goes to Bubba Bolden. He brings home the defensive player of the year in the AFC and also defensive rookie of the year. So that's 2 trophies for that man. In NFC, our defensive player goes to Sauce Gardner, bro. Oh my God, Sauce Gardner. Hell nah, what, bro? What happened, Foxter? Oh, that's good.
Tastes alright?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a chance to try it yet.
That's the thing that you can take down for some protein when you reach in the bag.
Yeah, and you can flip it up to use it.
Well, that's what I was kind of getting at. The matchup thing. Max didn't understand it. He over there dealing with Wilbur right now, so. The fact that Sauce Gardner is sitting on here is impressive to me, man. Shout out to the Lions to go get that man. Palomalo had a great year. So did Lloyd. We got some guys on here that play really well. Look at these diaper dandies, man. These are names that are carry us on, league that's going to carry this league on. As you take a look at them, these names up here, man. The fastest DN in the draft, Jermaine Johnson. You got Kyrie Elam, one of the top 5 corners of the draft. David Ajabo. Jordan Davis, the middle man. The man in the middle, the big D tackle, bro. Kobe Bryant played well for them. Elijah Blade stepped up. These guys finally found themselves number 1 corners over here. Lloyd, the middle linebacker, the number 1 middle linebacker in the draft. Palamayo, one of the big time safeties of this draft, and Sauce Gardner. I like the NFC players over here. Let's look at the AFC. Bolden, Isaac Taylor Stewart balled out. Bradley Riley Howes balled out. Brad Hawkins over here. You still got Derek Stingley, Keelan Barnes. The Bills went crazy with their diaper dandies. Aiden Hutchinson, one of the best D, if not the best DN in the draft. Quay Walker balled out. Lorenzo Leon O'Neal for the Colts, man. And James Kowski for Kolaski or Kowski, however you say it, for Clemson. Some computer love shit. Computer love. All right, best quarterback. Kellen Mond wins that award. Nothing else to talk about because he won it. And in the NFC, Jerry Bradshaw wins it over Kyler Murray. That's big. I think Kyler Murray played really well down the stretch, and I think he, wanted this award. I don't think Kyler Murray was planning not to win, some type of award this year. The fact that Jerry Bradshaw has won it, along with their running back winning the MVP, says a lot. They've been dominant all year too, man. So for Bradshaw to be throwing for 2,000 yards to one receiver, you still got Ruggs over there that we didn't see numbers on. Quite sure he was a 1,000-yard receiver. The running back went crazy, and then Jerry Bradshaw wins the NFC Best Quarterback Award. Best running back goes to Jaleel Ruggs. They just taking home trophies after trophy after trophy right here in Tampa Bay. In the AFC, the running back goes to Javonte Williams. He wins that. Shout out to Jimbo winning it with Javonte. At the receiver position, Chris Poole steals it from Jalen Waddle. Chris Poole has won this award multiple times. He continues to be the best receiver in the AFC. NFC, our receiver goes Chadwick Boseman. I don't know if he's the best receiver in the NFC. Just think, I, I'm biased, bro. I don't think he's the best receiver. He wins the award 2 years in a row because, because when you're out here just throwing bombs and shot plays and YouTube shot plays all game long, you're not worrying about wins because it don't add up. The guy catches the ball downfield a lot, but you're throwing 7 picks a game to get to those 3 touchdowns. So, I don't think he's the best. To be honest with you, I'm more impressed with fuck back right now than him. All right. Clay Oates wins this award 2 times in a row. Shout out to Clay Oates. All right. Patty Falk, best lineman in the league, wins this award since he's been in the league. Defensive side of things, D lineman goes to Eric Bolden. Shout out to Tata and their DN, winning that in the AFC. Who's the NFC pass rusher right now? Pat Taylor steals this from Cumberland. Wow. Look out for Angelo Falk as well, man. This is a guy whose name you're gonna continue to see. Trust me. But yep, Pat Taylor wins that, brings that award home. Best linebacker goes to Mac Kawanuka. Balled out for the Giants right now. Brings home the defense best linebacker award in the NFC. AFC, the best linebacker goes to Chris Rump. Computer, I don't want nobody else. AFC best DB, Bubba Bolden. 2 of the top DBs will be, they're matching up, even though they don't have to deal with each other, but they will be matching up with in the playoffs in the wild card round. Bubba Bolden and AI. Raheem Wagner brings that home. Sauce is number 2, so they balled out. Lions up here twice. Vikings, the $2 million man. Solo was all over the place all year. You got Reeves Allen, Palamayo. You got some good names here, man. Some DBs running around this league, dog. All right, that's your awards. Now, let's just look at the playoff matchups right now. How about the first game kickoff, bro? New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. 2 teams that are super familiar with each other. 2 teams that when they play, there's not a win bigger than 10 points. I think 17 was the most. But they play, and believe it or not, Snake has won this game, against the Giants more than a lot of other teams have beaten the Giants. So this is a great matchup. Plus, they're playing for the 3rd time this year. We're more on the line right now. If I'm the Cowboys, I don't got nothing to lose in this game. Nothing. You're playing a familiar opponent. Go out there and let it hang, man. And do your damn thing in that game. This is a late rematch. These 2 teams matched up week 18, I think. They got to play each other again. This is a tough game for the Saints just as well. I think it's a tough game for the Cardinals. The one thing the Cardinals is going to do is they're going to put themselves in a situation where they're not going to lose a playoff game for themselves. You're going to have to beat them. Can the Saints go out there and do that? That shit rocking. Whatever you made is rocking. I swear to God, that shit rocking. I don't even want to do the show no more. I'm ready to eat. Big time matchup, Lions and the Eagles. I think this is a great matchup. The NFC matchups, in my opinion, are really good. Really good, actually. I like every last one of these games right now. I want to see if the Saints can go and go on the road and take themselves a win. This would be the biggest win of their career. Both these teams can match up really well. Lions and the Eagles, great matchup. Giants and the Cowboys is a great matchup over there. All right, so hopefully Corey plays this game, man. I did everything in my power. Come on, man, get your little funky ass out of here. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. It's sure loud as hell. All right, you got the Broncos and the Chargers. Um, Again, hope Corey shows up and plays this game. Great matchup between the Ravens and the Dolphins. This is a really good matchup. 3 versus 6. And believe it or not, I really like this matchup, and I'm gonna deem this the game that we need to all watch. This is the game of the week for me in the wild card round. In the AFC and in the NFC, I don't know if I want to go with the Giants, Cowboys, or the Lions, Eagles. Um, hmm. I like the Colts, Patriots. I think I'm gonna go with. I've seen this so many times. I'm gonna go with the Lions and the Eagles game. Because I think it's more riding on the Eagles here than it is the Lions. Eagles have to get over. They can't be a team that only time they won in the playoffs was a force win. So they got more pressure on them, I think. And this is the Lions are just getting back on track, starting to play again, active. You know when Antonio's active, you get big wins out of Antonio. He's the dog in this game. He's a dog in this league. But the pressure is on the Eagles more than it is anywhere else. I think the Lions can, walk out of this game with a loss, and it is what it is. They retool and get right back at it to rather improve themselves next year. The Eagles need to win a game themselves in the playoffs. So I think the pressure is there more than it is anywhere else. I do like this New York Giants and Cowboys game. I do like it. I'm almost willing to say I'm going with the upset here. I think the New York Giants will exit in the wild card round this year due to the Cowboys. Oh my God, due to the fucking Cowboys. Big time. Another trap game over here where they're starting another quarterback, and it's the Baltimore Ravens and the Dolphins. They're both playing young quarterbacks. They're both playing quarterbacks to play in the playoffs for the first time. So I think that balances each other out. But this will be the first playoff run that the Ravens will go into without Lamar Jackson as the man behind the center, the offensive leader going into the playoffs. So this is a big matchup as well. But I really like this Colts Patriots game. I'm calling it. Colts will win this ball game. Anybody disagree with me in these wins? I'm picking the Giants to lose to the Cowboys, and the Colts to beat the Patriots. Yeah? What do y'all think? Am I crazy? Do anybody think Mike can sit in Indianapolis in the dome and upset the Patriots? Because even though they're the home team, they're not the team they're not the favorite team. I don't know. It wouldn't be a playoffs without some type of upsets. Are these pick'em games? Nah. Y'all want me to make them pick'em games? Hmm. I like all these matchups, honestly. I like all these matchups. I think. All right, this is what we'll do. Since this, to me, this is the game that we're gonna play. It's not, probably not gonna get played tonight. But what I'll do is I'll post in the main chat and we'll talk about it. Maybe I'll do a pick'em game for both sides. And if I'm going to do it, here's the game: Colts, Patriots. All right, we're gonna go 4 and 5 on both sides. We're gonna go Lions, Eagles, Colts, Patriots. So I'm not gonna make this. You know what? It's 11 watching right now. Let's do it like this. Pick your winners. This is a pick. Both those games are pick your winner. The 4 and 5 game on both sides is the pick a winner game, man. Obviously, you know how to do it. Type the team name, who you think gonna win on both sides. in the comment section. Hit the like button, screenshot it, send it to Max, the Giants coach. Without that, you will not get anything from it. But if you pick the winner, you will get something. All right, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Colts, Patriots, Lions, Eagles. Pick the winner. Hit the like button, screenshot the like button, and type the teams that you expect to win these ball games in the comment section. There we go. Pats, Eagles, Cowboys, and after 0-4 start. Sheesh. I know you. I'm telling you, bro. You boy. You the man. Real talk, bro. You gotta be proud of yourself right now. Now go get that upset, because I'm calling the upset in this game. All right. I'm giving y'all some more time to better pick your winners right now, man, before I close this shit down. Pick your winners. Sneaky, sneaky. Uh-huh. Pick your winners. Who y'all got? Mike match up with Nano, and Rob and Antonio play. They might pick my winner games. You going with Rob, Nano, or Mike? Rob and Nano? All right. Well, you know I always ride out with whoever you pick. Rob and Nano, right? All right. That's my picks. Although I think Mike gonna win. All right. If you didn't get the chance to type your name in the comment sections, you can do so later on. If not, I'll post it in the main chat and ask for your pick your winners again, so you can type it in the main chat as well. Other than that, we're out of here. AntHits, the franchise guru. Year one real draft playoffs are here. You know what I'm talking about. Let's get to it.